of course, have some questions from the fans, okay? And there are a lot of questions, but we have picked only a few because that's possible, or only possible. So the first question is that I think recently you are not that much active on Twitter. So fans want to know, is there any specific reason behind that?
It's just a shithole. It's like a toxic shithole.
It
of an app. And what I started doing when the pandemic started is that I started paying attention more to news than I had previously, and I was really into it. I was like checking up on it, and not because of my fans or whatever, it's not bad because of that, but that is what it kind of became for me. It's like a constant, because it's very quick, like the news. If you hear something, you can go on Twitter and you'll know if it's true or not. So I went on there, and after a while, it's really started affecting my mood, how I perceive things, how I perceive my country, how I perceive the take that people had on certain things. And it was kind of dragging me down, which in addition to the pandemic was not the kind of headspace I wanted to be in. So I've kind of come out of it more. And also, see, Twitter was always something that was kind of like, if I'm doing something, and I ask people, I want to know how people are liking what I'm doing, how they're liking the show. I would go in there and ask, and we would interact. Right now, there's not much for me to talk about. I know I'll go there. People will be like, hey, when are we going to see you next? And you answer it once. 2 minutes later, somebody again asks you that. And then it kind of devolves into nothing. So once I have something that I want to talk about, or I can talk about, I'll be on there for sure.
Right. Okay. The next question is, which TV celebrity or would you rate as a perfect 10? Like, according to you, that celebrity is a perfect 10 on 10. What is that celebrity? Who is that celebrity?
Like looks-wise?
Look-wise, or maybe as a person, as an actor. Any criteria which you want to put in?
What a question. I'll have to think of that. I mean, they're all very pretty, obviously. They're good-looking girls. But a perfect 10, I'll have to think about that. I can't answer this immediately.
Okay. No worries. The second question is, describe one quality about you which you cannot see yourself without, and one drawback that you would like to see yourself without. So what would be that?
One drawback that I would like to see myself without would be maybe have more patience sometimes, be more have more thera, like not react so quickly, especially when I'm running low on sleep or food. That would be one drawback. And one quality I don't see myself without is I guess once I'm into something, I'm really into it. There's no like waffling or 50%, 40%. It's like full on. Maybe that's one of the things I wouldn't see myself with.
Second question is, if given an opportunity, whose life would you want to lead? Like someone who you feel who has the perfect or a very productive or satisfying life.
Having lived in Bombay and having been in the industry, nobody really has the life that you might think from their Instagram or their Twitter or their Facebook. So I don't want to trade my life with anybody. I'm quite okay with the life that I'm living, and I'm quite happy with it, because I don't know if anybody really has the perfect life, or at least from my experience, I haven't really run across anybody who has that.
Okay. Have you ever faced rejection for a role based on the number of followers you have on social media?
No, not rejection, but I did recently get a call where somebody was like, we're looking for somebody with like 1 million plus followers for a certain role, and this is the role that you have. And anytime you get those kind of calls, you just kind of hang up, because clearly the story doesn't matter, the character doesn't matter. If the first thing you're calling me and asking me or talking about is Instagram followers, that is a project I don't want to be a part of at all.
Okay. Do you feel under pressure to post on IG and read Sundays now that your Sunday posts have kind of become a ritual?
It's always a mixed thing. That I am like everybody else. Some days you feel a certain way, some days you don't feel a certain way. Some days you're excited about, like it's been a week since I made up my hair and I've shaped up my beard and, you know, like dressing up nicely and taking some nice pictures, or it's nice weather, so you feel like doing it. Some days, mostly the days I don't feel like posting is when I don't really know what to say. Because you can post a picture, but then I've never been that person and I don't want to be that person who goes on Google and like takes a quote, like sunlight, quote, tha, and you're like shared. So I usually, the caption is the part that stresses me out, in that I do want to communicate. But then if you don't have anything new to communicate, it kind of feels very stressful. That part does.
Right. Okay. The second question is, an actor is judged and stereotyped for a lot of things. Okay. Any personal experience, like any judgment which people made about you just because you were an actor, and that was the closest experience you ever came across with that?
I think models get worse, way worse. Like when I used to say I'm a model and then I would talk about a book, people would like, oh wow, like you read. Oh, just not just a model then. I was like, I don't know what that means. Also, I think since I've become an actor, like if I'm talking to you right now and you'd ask me a question about a perfect 10 or something, and I said, if we take movie stars, if I said Alia, and then the next interview I say Deepika, it's like, oh my god, like what? Like I thought it was Alia, now it's Deepika. Like I can't change my mind, or I can't find somebody attractive just of how they.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a call. Is this working? Yeah. So it's that, or maybe, yeah, those are the kind of things that it's almost like you're supposed to just be this one person who has it changes, man. Like it's, everybody has their own take. You have your evolving tastes, or 10,000 other things like any other person. So just that kind of pigeonholing. But I think, yeah, models do get this stigma of being very dumb or self-involved or not educated for some reason, which is not true. From my personal experience, it is not true at all.
And has this perception changed about models? Like initially it was there that they are not, good actors. That's what I heard when I started doing journalism, and so has this completely changed, or it is still there that models cannot become a good actor?
Yeah, I will tell you something and about that thing is that when somebody is hired for the way they look, they are told to look good all the time. Whereas acting, you can't look good all the time. People don't, if you're constantly conscious of trying to look good for the camera, you will look wooden because you're trying to show up your jawline or you're trying to catch the light. So how are you going to feel? Because acting is what you're feeling, you just go with it. And if you look bad, people look bad in real life. And in TV also you get this where people say, oh my God, that person looks so pretty crying. Who looks pretty crying in real life? And once you get that in your head, you're like, yeah, like I have a crying scene. I hope I don't look ugly in this, man. I hope, like, how do you prettily cry? That is something that I've tried to figure out for a very long time. I think the best you can do is put some glycerine and just look normal. Yeah. But I think that also comes from expectations from people, is that certain people who look good, people just want you to look that way. Don't look ugly. Sorry, that is not true at all. But it comes from 10,000 other places. And if the audience in itself demands that somebody look good all the time, then that is what people are going to give you. Then you can't complain that this person is not going beyond that. So whatever works, what they say is like what sells, you deliver. So maybe the audiences should change what they expect of certain kind of people.
Right. Okay.
Not to blame the audience, but I have come across this and it's really annoying when people say like, oh, look pretty when crying. Am I supposed to feel bad? Am I supposed to feel emotional? Worry about how my face looks? Rant over.
No. Okay. The second question is, has he given any auditions lately? How comfortable is he with the idea of self-recording and sending auditions instead of in-person auditions?
I think that's all everybody is doing right now. They don't even ask you to come in for the office auditions, because I think a lot of people are not working at home. And in a way, it's much more comfortable doing it by yourself and not worrying about how many takes it takes or who's watching. On the other hand, when you go for really good auditions with certain people, they will give you instant feedback and they will try to improve on it for you, which gets hard on the phone because sometimes they call you, then they try to explain it on the phone, then you re-record it. Doesn't really go very smoothly in that regard. So both pros and cons of doing it at home, I think.
Right. Okay. The second question is, when, okay, so two questions are there. So, is he in touch with Nikita Datta, and if he is ever going to come live with her on Insta?
We're in touch. She just messaged me, I think, recently when the EDKV anniversary gift from the fans was delivered to her. So she told me she had it when she got back to Bombay and that I could pick it up. I don't think we want to do a live together. I think she's doing her own thing and she's busy with that. But that doesn't mean there's nothing more to be read into it. This is why I'm sitting with a golf stick, because there are monkeys around here. Okay. So if you saw the tree started shaking back there, that's a monkey running around. And there are a whole lot of them all over the place. So you just have to be careful. I'm not going to hit them, but it's just to scare them a bit because some of them get very territorial. Yeah, so I think you do lives and stuff when you're doing the same kind of thing or you're in similar projects. She is completely she's doing marvelous things and she's got her own journey going on. So I don't really see a live together unless it's for the anniversary or something. Maybe like we did last time we met for the EDKV anniversary.
Right. Okay. Last few question. Since you read a lot of books, is there any book character which you want to play in future? Is there any specific character in your mind?
Pip from Great Expectations. That would be something I would want to play.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Could you repeat the answer once again?
Pip from Great Expectations.
Okay. So that is the character which you would like to portray.
Yeah, I would love to. For some very weird reason, that has been my favorite book since I was a kid. I've read it maybe 15, 20 times. And it really struck a chord with the younger me. I don't know why, but it struck such a chord with me, but it did. And that would be something I think would be interesting to play.
Okay. The second question is, when are you planning to drop the ED title track played by you on guitar?
I did on guitar. Yeah. I can't keep doing the same thing. I played it on piano. It's there. That's the best I can do. And I would rather move on to better things. More different things.
Okay. If given a chance, is he open to shows like Khatron Ke Khiladi or Bigg Boss?
No. No reality television. I have no interest in putting my personal life or me as a person in the forefront. I'm here to act. I'm here to play characters. And that is the only thing that interests me. My lack of social media engagement should show that I have no interest in really putting my whole life out on, which is my personal choice. No disrespect to anybody who chooses to do that. It is just my personal choice.
Okay. Last question. One thing which you usually are misunderstood by others. One thing which others misunderstood you. What would be that one thing?
So when I am a bit irritated or I'm a bit agitated or something is not going right in any kind of way, my voice kind of goes up. And just generally, I think I have a big voice because I am quite tall and stuff. So people think I'm shouting, and it's not shouting. My shouting is very different to what just speaking loudly is. And then I have to explain that, like, even though I'm angry, I explain this. I'm sorry that I'm speaking loudly, but this is what happens when I'm agitated or I'm trying to get my point across. But please don't think I'm shouting, but this is what is wrong and this is what needs to be fixed. And the other person okay, I get it. So even when I'm trying to get my point across, I have to add this little thing in that just because my voice has gone up, it does not mean I'm shouting. It's just heightened emotions inside me.
Right. Okay. The second question is there any plans of getting married in the near future for now?
No, not right now, because I think this break that I have taken and which COVID has added to quite a bit, it's kind of made me even more focused on what I want to do and how I want to go about it, and things that I need to work on, things that I need to achieve personally for myself. And I do think that if I had been married right now, I wouldn't have been able to take this long break, because it comes with additional responsibilities. You can't just think about yourself. You can't be so selfish. You have to think about the other person as well with you. And I just in the past year have realized that there are quite a few things that I am looking forward to, or which have been added to what I want to do in life, and there's a more clear path to it, at least for now, in my head. So yeah, the marriage is not exactly on the cards right now for me.
Right. Okay. So the last question would be, is that, every person has its own set of insecurities and its self-doubts, whether it's a professional or personal level. And we are sure that you'll be having such days as well. So on those days, how do you keep yourself calm and how do you keep yourself focused?
I mean, I'm an actor. It's literally part of the job to be insecure. Even when you're working, there's no security, because it's always kind of up in the air how things are going to go, how what's going to happen, what's next. Yeah, so it comes with the package, I think, and the way you get around it is what I used to do, especially after Ek Deewana Tha. I remember that there were times when I went into an audition and I would literally be like kind of almost hyperventilating and sweat, and I can't speak clearly. My heartbeat is going really fast because I had this thing that I always try to downplay what I've done so that I can keep motivating myself to get better. But what I was doing in that was kind of putting myself so down in that, like I was like, "Hey, tune kuch nahi kiya. What do you think? You're something. You're nothing, and you have so much more to achieve. Or kuch nahi aata. Kya hero mat banna, ye mat karna." In my own head, and it was to the point where I was putting myself so down that I was messing up auditions, which was strange because I'd been paid to do this for years, like for 2 or 3 years at that point. So there is a self-criticism and self-evaluation is very important. At the same time, you do kind of need to put a check on it and acknowledge what you've done and be kind of proud of what you've done, because that is what gives you the confidence to go do what you're doing. You should be confident. You should be your own cheerleader, because in life, very few people are going to kind of give you that realistic kind of mix of not, oh my God, you're the best thing ever, or you suck and like just give up and die. So there's a line there which you kind of have to build for yourself and find that good space for yourself in your head, which I think is, do you see? That was another monkey.
Yeah.
So that is kind of what I've worked on through this pandemic, and I took some classes which they kind of reinforced this too, which was quite cool. And that's where I'm at, is that everybody's going to have days of doubt. Everybody's going to have days of questioning yourself. Like I told you, when you do say no to certain things, you kind of like what have I done? Like you say it and you hang up, and there's this feeling of like ye kya kiya mere kind of there. But then you kind of have to believe that this is what I've decided I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick to it and see it through for myself. So that's where I'm at right now. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? Like I said, work is work. I do miss being in front of the camera. It's one of my joys in my life is working and showing up and getting to be somebody else. So I am holding out for something that, for myself and for the people who are following me or waiting for me, that I can kind of give them what they've been waiting for. So let's see how things go, man. It's been a crazy 2020. 2021 was supposed to be better, but again, we're stuck right back where we were last year. It feels almost like a deja vu. And let's see how things goes. But this is my kind of messed up or scattered headspace, which you obviously, I don't know, this answer is just going on and on. I've kind of forgotten what you asked also.
No, you actually answered.
This is just like a train of thought that I put out in front of you.
No, but you answered well what I asked. And so Namik, on this note, anything which you want to say to your fans, to the people, anything which you want to say?
I think I just said it. Like the thing I was going on and on was kind of pointed to them. Is that I am trying to do. What I'm trying to do is that I have a vision in my head. I'm trying to stick to it. Hopefully, it works out. I think if it works out, it's going to be glorious. But they say if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. So you kind of also have to go with the flow sometimes. So let's see how things turn out. And but this is where I'm at right now. I hope that you guys got some answers. I'm kind of confused by now. Like I'm confused myself. But maybe listening back to it, something was cleared up. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope all of you are doing well. Please stay safe. I know things are going to open up. We're all very, very sick of sitting at home, but that is exactly what we did last year, and we're back here. So we don't want to be here next year. So please be careful, wear your mask, socially distance. Even if everybody tells you it's fine, don't believe them. Just stay safe, because we have to help each other out. At this point, that is the only way we're going to get through this. Get vaccinated. It's very, very important. And yes, that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Namik, for the wonderful interview. Please stay safe, take care, and come back with a brilliant script, which you would really, really like to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you stay safe. You stay safe too.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Hi guys, my name is Namik Paul and you're watching me on Glitz Vision USA.